If you're a CEO or executive and want to improve your confidence under pressure, then do these 5 habits every single day. I've worked with over 100 senior executives who've struggled with stress, reactivity, and self-doubt despite running successful companies. And the ones who've transformed into calm, decisive leaders under pressure, they all implemented these same 5 daily practices. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what they are and how to do them. Let's get into it. So the first habit is a morning stillness practice for 5 to 10 minutes. Now, most leaders think this is about clearing your mind, or they dismiss it entirely as too spiritual for them. But here's the reality. It's not about achieving some Zen state. It's about developing the capacity to witness your thoughts without being hijacked by them. And that creates the foundation for leadership presence. Let me give you an example. I had a client, a CEO managing 200 people in his company, who was making impulsive decisions in board meetings because his nervous system was running on survival mode 24/7. We started with just 10 minutes of sitting still each morning. No app, no guidance, just noticing the chaos in his mind without trying to fix it. And within 3 weeks, he noticed something remarkable. Just a half a second gap between stimulus and reaction. That gap, that's where inner peace and authentic power lives. Because in that space, you get to choose your response instead of being controlled by stress. So here's how to do this. Set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier than usual. Sit somewhere quiet, close your eyes, notice your breath. And when thoughts come, and they will, just observe them like clouds passing in the sky. Don't try to stop them, just notice. That's it. The second habit is conscious breathing reset. 5 breaths multiple times throughout your day. Now, most leaders dismiss this as yoga stuff. That's not for the boardroom. But here's what's actually happening. Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, which means you're making million-dollar decisions from a survival state. Conscious breathing is the fastest way to down-regulate your nervous system and access the clarity that lives in the prefrontal cortex. Conscious breathing is the fastest way to down-regulate your nervous system and access the clarity that lives in your prefrontal cortex. I worked with a CFO who would get defensive and combative in executive meetings. His stress response was triggering before he even walked into the room. So we implemented a simple protocol. 5 deep belly breaths before every meeting, before every difficult conversation, and before every decision point. Just 5. And the shift was immediate. Instead of defending, attacking, or even shutting down, he created space to actually listen, to think clearly, and to respond with intention. His team felt it immediately. They started rebuilding trust with him more and more because he wasn't volatile anymore. Here's how to do this. Set 3 alarms on your phone throughout the day. When it goes off, do this. Inhale for 4 counts through the nose, hold for 4, exhale for 6 counts through the mouth, and hold for 2, and repeat that 5 times. Do this before meetings, after stress triggers, and before bed. By the way, if you want to go deeper on these practices and learn the complete system for developing inner mastery as a CEO, I've created a full-length free course that walks you through everything step by step. Click the link in the description to watch that video for free. The third habit is evening shadow journaling for 10 minutes. Now, most leaders think journaling is either gratitude lists or planning tomorrow's tasks. They avoid looking at the uncomfortable stuff, the anger, the jealousy, the fear, and the shame. But here's the truth. What you don't acknowledge controls you. The parts of yourself you reject or avoid, they show up as reactivity, self-sabotage, and unconscious patterns. I worked with a founder who kept sabotaging his own success, firing key staff right as the company was scaling, picking fights with investors. Through evening journaling, we discovered he had deep unworthiness beliefs from childhood. I don't deserve success. Once that became conscious, he could work with it instead of being controlled by it. And the result? He stopped being blindsided by his own behavior. He started catching patterns before they destroyed relationships and opportunities. He developed emotional intelligence that made him magnetic to top talent. Here's how to do this. Before bed, open a private journal, write these prompts. What triggered me today? What pattern showed up again? Now, don't censor, don't make it pretty. Just write raw truth for 10 minutes. The fourth habit is somatic check-ins. 2 minutes, 6 times throughout your day. Most leaders live entirely in their heads, completely disconnected from their bodies. They override body signals, fatigue, hunger, pain, until something breaks. And here's what's really happening. Your body holds the score for your stress. Trauma and chronic activation live in your tissues, not only your thoughts. So when you're disconnected from your body, you can't regulate your nervous system. You're running on fumes and calling it leadership. I had a CEO come to me with insomnia, digestive issues, and chronic neck pain. He thought he needed a new mattress and better supplements. Through somatic awareness, we discovered he was holding massive tension in his body 24 hours a day. His system never felt safe enough to rest. We started with simple body scans throughout the day, and within weeks his sleep improved, his pain decreased, and his decision-making sharpened. What happened? He started catching stress before it became crisis. He made decisions from groundedness instead of dysregulation. He slept better. He had more energy. He stopped burning out and started sustaining his excellence. Here's how to do this. Set 6 reminders on your phone every 2 to 3 hours while you're awake. When it goes off, just do this. Stop, close your eyes, scan your body from head to toe and notice, where am I holding tension? What's my jaw doing? How's my breath? What emotions are present? Just notice, no fixing required. 2 minutes. And the fifth habit is intentional transition rituals. 5 minutes between every major context shift. Most leaders go straight from crisis calls to team meetings to family dinner with no reset. They bring the energy of one context into the next, contaminating everything as they go. They wonder why they can't be present at home. Here's the reality. Context switching without transition destroys presence. You're not actually in the meeting. You're still replaying the crisis. You're not with your kids. You're mentally drafting tomorrow's emails. This fragmentation is killing your effectiveness and your relationships. I worked with a CFO who was destroying his marriage because he brought bedroom intensity home every night. His wife said living with him felt like she was being cross-examined. We created a 5-minute car ritual before he walked in the front door. 5 deep breaths, physical reset, shake out the tension, mental acknowledgement of the transition, and conscious choice of who we wanted to be in this next context. And the transformation was incredible. He started showing up fully wherever he was. His team got his undivided attention. His family got the real him, not the stressed remnant. He stopped leaking energy across contexts and started being powerful in each one. Here's how to do this. Between every major context shift, meeting to meeting, work to home, work to workout, take 5 minutes. Physical reset. Stand up, shake your body, and stretch. Then mentally acknowledge, I'm leaving this context and entering the new one. Intentional choice, I'm in this next context. I choose to be present, calm, open, whatever you need, and then enter. Look, I'll be honest with you, these habits sound simple, and they really are, but simple doesn't mean easy. What makes this hard isn't the mechanics. It's that you've spent decades running on stress and calling it success. Your nervous system is wired for crisis. Your identity is built around being the person who handles it. Slowing down feels like weakness. Being still feels like wasting time. But here's what I've seen with hundreds of executives. The leaders who dominate their industries aren't the ones grinding 80 hours a week in fight or flight. They're the ones who've mastered their inner state. They're calm in the storm, clear under pressure, decisive without reactivity. That's authentic power. And these 5 habits are your foundation. So those are the 5 daily habits that will transform your confidence under pressure. If you implement even one of these consistently for 30 days, you'll notice a shift in how you show up under stress. But here's the thing, these habits are just the foundation. There's a much deeper system behind developing true inner mastery as a leader. Things like dissolving the unconscious patterns that trigger your reactivity. Understanding your nervous system gets hijacked in high-stake moments, and building authentic power that doesn't depend on everything going right. That's why I created a full-length free course that walks you through the complete transformation process step by step. Click the video on the screen to watch it now. And if you want to work with me directly, the first link in the description has information on how to apply. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more on leadership mastery, and I'll see you in the next one.